Hey everybody, welcome to 2018. 2018. It's weird, just in a couple years we'll be able to say 2020, which just sounds really futuristic and strange, doesn't it? You know, I never thought about it in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up, but 2020, it's really strange. But, you know, I hope you're as bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as I am right now on this first of the year. I'm just kidding. I actually recorded this early, so I'm sure I'm just as hungover as you guys are. But, you know, hey, what a way to start the new year, right? It's what we all do. So, honestly, though, I hope you all had a very safe and happy new year. And I hope if you were drinking that you stayed home with some friends or stayed at your house and didn't drive because it's dangerous. Don't be doing any of that stuff. But what are we doing here today? What are we doing on the 1st of 2018? Well, I wanted to introduce this new series that I'm doing. So part of what I'm starting in 2018 are these videos here. They're called checking in videos. Now, over the past few months, I've started new videos that were called checking out videos. It's basically where we check out games, whether they're new or old or whatever I'm currently playing at the time. We check out, insert whatever game title here, right? And we're going to do the same thing here, and these are called checking in videos, where I'm going to check in with you guys from time to time and just update you on what I'm playing, what I'm doing, what I think about different things that are happening with games, you know, just that kind of thing, just so I can check in with all of you. And on top of that, I'm also going to give you a rough idea of what's to come in the next month, of what I'm going to do on the channel. So you got to figure, I put a lot of time into this channel, but I still have a full-time job. I have a wife. I have a lot of other boring adult things going on in my life, so I can't dedicate all of my time. I can't dedicate a full-time, job amount of time to this channel, which is unfortunate. You know, if I did do this full time, I could do a new video for you every day, but unfortunately I'm just not in that position right now. And not to mention, there are just way too many really good games coming out nowadays. I can't keep up with them, considering this is sort of a part-time thing. So of course, the checking out videos aren't going anywhere, but I'm only going to have time for select games that I can actually show a half hour to an hour of them, you know? So what we're doing with these checking in videos, these are going to be like real quick, rapid-fire, thoughts on several games that I've been playing at time. And there's going to be one reason or another why I'm not going to do a checking out video on it. It could be that I'm just not really getting into the game. It could be that everybody's already heard of this game and, pretty much everybody has already bought a copy of it. But you'll be getting a few of those games here in this video today. But first off, we're going to do a channel update for January 2018. This isn't going to be everything I'm doing this month, but this is going to be a few of the things I'm kicking around, thinking about doing, or really am going to end up doing. If you have any suggestions, anything you do want to see this month, let me know. So recently I started streaming Little Nightmares on Steam. Now, I got a copy of Little Nightmares during the Steam sale, and I've been streaming a bit of it as of late, and it's actually a really cool game. It's very similar to games like Limbo and Inside, where it's a platformer and it's very disturbing looking. Whatever fits into that kind of disturbing platforming genre. I'm not sure if there's a name for it yet. It maybe even has a little bit of the Oddworld game style and gameplay to it as well. The only thing I wasn't expecting was how stealthy it is. You'll definitely be studying enemy looping patterns to get from one place to another, which really caught me off guard. I don't normally care for stealth games, but this one has grown on me, and I absolutely love the weird style in it. So you can look forward to me finishing up the live stream for this game this month. Now, as many of you already know, I run the Quake Grave show on this channel too, and I just did 2 huge updates for the show. The first is that I just did a full playthrough of Quake 2 for the game's 20th anniversary, and now Quake 2 is sort of a part of the family of Quake videos that I do for the Quake Grave. So look out for more Quake 2 videos on the horizon, and if you haven't already, go check out my Quake 2 playthrough. Then on top of that, I just released the Xmas Jam 2017 video, which features 11 new maps from different authors. And there isn't a bad one in the bunch. Definitely worth checking out. Now, while we're on the topic of Quake, I've also been playing a little bit of Quake Champions recently, and I have to say that the team behind the game has really improved a lot of things about it. But I'm going to save that for another future Quake Grave episode coming up this month. I'm also going to be doing a Game of the Year video too. Mine's going to be coming a little bit late than a lot of the other people's lists that have been on YouTube. However, that's because I just haven't had time to play through all the games I currently have that came out in 2017, and I really want to get a good chunk into them so that way I know if I want to include them or not. So that's all I have for channel updates as of now. I've been toying with the idea of doing a Portal playthrough because there was a 10-year anniversary for that game recently, and I would like to go back to that game because I really enjoy it. But you guys let me know what you think if that's something you want to see. Okay, so let's talk about some of the games that I've been playing lately that I haven't had time to do videos for recently. And be prepared, this is a long list of stuff here. Okay, so first up we have Injustice 2 on PC. So I haven't had time to show off this game because of how crazy November and December were for me with work. And I was also trying to get my playthrough of Quake 2 out for the 20th anniversary too, as I mentioned. So with that said, I really loved the first game, and it was looking like I may not be able to play this one at all. Then all of a sudden in November, NetherRealm announced that they're going to do some kind of, online beta thing and then release the game a week later. And I was super hyped for it. So I got a copy on launch day on Steam, and I can happily report this is not only a really fun game, but it's actually a really good port of it too. There's plenty to do as well, from the story to online matches to all the guild stuff and challenges available. If you're willing to spend the time to level every character up to 20 as well, you're going to be here a while. The one thing that bugs me is the loot box stuff because, every game kinda has to have loot boxes now, right? What is going on right now in games? I've had enough of this loot box stuff, enough of it already. Regardless though, Injustice 2 is still a fun game and worth checking out on PC. Now another big game that I've been playing recently, and I mean big, is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm not what you would call a big anime fan, but I am loving this game. It was only released about a month ago, and I feel like I just haven't had enough time to dedicate to it. This is a huge, sprawling RPG, and honestly, I don't even know where I would begin trying to show the game off in a video with all of its different systems running. Let's just say it's your not-so-typical RPG story with many typical RPG and anime tropes rolled into it. If you can deal with the tropes, you'll find that there's a pretty enjoyable RPG game here. And I'm only like 12 hours in, so oh my god, wow. Time to get back into it, right? Alright, I know everybody and their mom and her mom has been talking about Cuphead since it came out this year, but I've only recently got back into it because I've had a really rocky relationship with it. I bought it on PC back when it was released, but there was a bug in that version that prevented the game from saving any of your progress. So this actually happened to me twice because I thought the first time was a fluke. So I jumped back into the game thinking like, there must have been some kind of weird glitch or something. Turns out, it was a bug, and that kept me from going back to it, having wasted all that time. So that bug has been fixed for a while now, but I only just now decided to go back to it, and wouldn't you know it, the game wouldn't launch. It just kept crashing at the start. So I uninstalled it and re-downloaded it, and now finally the game works. And it's saving my progress. So after those fiascos, I can honestly say that Cuphead is an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful game with great music and great characters, but I'm not sure how much I actually enjoy it. I think it's one of those games I'll keep chipping away at as the year goes on, but while the presentation absolutely dazzles me, I think it's so cool looking and such, I can't say enough about it, the gameplay leaves a strange taste in my mouth. What's in that cup? Alright, so this is a game that I have popped into a few times on Steam, and it just isn't clicking with me for whatever reason. It's a Tycoon sim-style game where you play as someone running a vineyard. I don't have much of an interest in winemaking myself, but I thought because of its cool art style and my interest in Tycoon games from the past that I might actually get into this. However, the Tycoon games I like are kind of like, Roller Coaster Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon, games that are typically pretty accessible to people. Now this game gets into some of the real nitty-gritty stuff in winemaking, and it follows the process pretty closely. So you don't just make the wine, you grow the grapes, you prepare the wine, you pick your distributor for the wine, you buy more land to grow more grapes, and you have to prepare for the weather and all the seasons that come up. There is a lot to it, which is deceiving given the pleasant art style of the game. I was really expecting something a little different. What I can say here though is that it is a quality game worthy of someone willing to put in the time and effort with it, but I just don't think that someone is me. Now Ancient Frontier is another game on Steam that I gotta be honest with you about it. I've played it twice, and both times were with the tutorial. I know it sounds pitiful. The tutorial alone though, it's a half-hour long, and it's really story-driven, and to be honest, I didn't find the characters all that likable. So I played through the tutorial, I don't know, about halfway through one night, and I came back to it another day to finish it, and when I did, I just wasn't sure if this is something I actually wanted to play, even for just a checking out video. Because honestly, I wouldn't even know where to start with it. This game is part space sim, part RPG, but it's one of those games that I can tell would be really time consuming. I looked on the Steam forums to see what players were saying about it, and I wasn't surprised to see that the developers had a list of 10 tips for you to use during the game, and each tip was a long paragraph. This kind of makes my head hurt. But for any non-Neanderthal gamers out there that are smarter than the average RC, it might be something you're interested in. If you're looking for a large space sim with lots of stuff to keep track of, this might be for you. Well, there you go, everybody. That is me, ArrrCee, checking in on the first of the new year in 2018. You can expect these videos at least once a month to kind of give you an idea what's going on with the channel, but they might happen more frequently if I have something I need to bring up or talk about. But until next time, GG everyone, and Happy New Year.